What's up everybody, Brad here with the Money Dad channel. In this video we are talking about gold, the precious metal currently valued at $1,789 per ounce at the time of this video. And the reason I'm talking about it is because I see gold going much higher in the long term, and this is a very long-term analysis here in this video. We're going to be doing technical analysis, a specific subset of technical analysis. We're going to be getting into chart patterns, right? The stock chart, so to speak, right? Gold's not a stock, but I like to call it stock chart patterns, right? Because that's what people refer to it as. So we're going to be getting into the chart for gold, specifically the ETF that we trade gold in the stock markets, GLD, but this can be used for any type of gold investment, whether that's physical gold or any other ETF or any other way that you are buying and selling gold, because I think the price of the underlying asset, gold, right, the value of it is going to be going much higher in the long term. So without further ado, I want to jump into the chart and show you what I found, what I see going on here, because it's pretty significant. I mean, this is some pretty incredible stuff in my opinion, and I want to get your opinions in the comments below as well as I start to unravel some of this stuff and show you guys. So I have TradingView pulled up on the screen. I took all of my drawings off. They're hidden right now. I will reveal them here shortly, but I wanted to keep them hidden to kind of show you guys my thought process of you know, what I was going through when I was trying to find something here, to kind of, you know, give you guys an idea of how I find some of this stuff, right, in case you're trying to learn as you you know, go along through these videos. So please let me know if you see something, you know, that you don't agree with in my process as well. Let me know that down in the comments as well. Okay, so we are kind of zoomed in on this gold chart, and again, this is the GLD. This is an ETF that can be traded in the stock markets that tracks the price of gold. So you'll see GLD at the time of this recording is $166 per share. Obviously that's not the price of gold, but this tracks up and down with the price of gold. So everything you see here on this chart is going to apply to the price of gold directly. Okay, so we're really zoomed in here on the gold chart. You can see each one of these candlesticks that you see on the screen is 1 day, and we're going back to May, right? So our timeline here on the screen that you see right now is from May of 2021 to December to today of 2021. So you got a little bit more than half a year of data here, and this is usually where I start with my charts. And if I see something smaller, I'll zoom in. If I see something bigger, I'll zoom out. And I was looking for something here, and I check gold every few days just to see if there's anything crazy going on, but I haven't really zoomed out on gold in a very long time, until the other day. And I zoomed out and I was looking for something because I saw this kind of channel right here, right? You got these two peaks right here kind of descending. You got this floor kind of descending a little bit. So I'm zooming out and I'm looking for something significant on this chart, and I see this channel, this descending channel, is getting bigger and bigger, right? It's just a really long descending channel. I'm like, man, this is a really big chart pattern going on here now, right? So we've been stuck in this descending channel for a long time, and the price of gold, you know, checks out with that. I'm looking at, you know, the price of gold over the last year is down about 5% or so. You know, it's nothing crazy, but we have been losing a little bit of value in the price of gold over the last year. But then I look prior to that, and there was just a massive run-up in the price of gold. For example, over the last 5 years, gold has gained 52% in value, right? That is a huge run-up. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I'm zooming out, and we're really starting to get pretty far back on this chart now, right? We're all the way back to 2017, 2018 on this chart, and I can still see this base, this bottoming out right here, right? And these are all daily candlesticks. So I'm starting to get to the point where I can't even see the candlesticks anymore. So, you know, I said, you know what? We're going to change it to the weekly chart. Every candlestick will now represent 1 week of data, right? Every single candlestick is one whole week of time, right? So now when I zoom out, now we're going all the way back to 2005. Tons of data on this chart, and wouldn't you know it, I mean, look at how beautiful this pattern here is, this shape, right? If you know me, if you've been following this channel, if you know chart patterns in general, you probably already see what I'm about to tell you. It is super clear. It is a beautiful cup and handle pattern, right? So if you don't know what a cup and handle pattern is, let me bring some examples over onto the screen for you. Here's a good one right here. Basically, you have your stock chart, or in this case gold, coming up. So it needs to be in a bull pattern prior to the cup, right? This is a continuation of a bull run, right? So you have a bull run coming up, and then it drops, which starts to create the cup, and it comes back up, and then it makes this handle right here. And from here, based on this pattern, we can project based on like psychology of markets that it's going to break out to the upside. Odds are it's going to break out to the upside. Okay, this is a continuation pattern of a bull trend prior to the cup, and it should continue to the upside afterwards, right? So let's look at our cup and handle. We've got our bull run prior to the cup being formed, right? We come up here, we have our peak, we start our cup, we come back up, we have our peak, and now we have a handle. This is beautiful. So once I discovered this, I immediately started charting it out, getting some price targets, some entry points, some exit points, things like that. I posted it all on TradingView. Follow me at TradingView if you haven't yet. My name is Imports. And you can see all of my chart patterns that I post there. So let's go ahead and feel my drawings on here. They're not perfect, but you know, I did spend a lot of time kind of going over some of this stuff. So we have a cup drawn out here, right? We have our handle, and based on the size of this cup and the size of this handle, we can project some targets, some price targets. We can project how high we think gold is going to go. And again, I said this is a very long-term analysis. I mean, look how back this cup goes, right? This cup starts in 2011, right? I'm recording this video in 2021, the end of 2021. So we're talking about a cup that was created over a 9-year-long period, which means this price, not 9 years, but this is a long-term analysis. I do think gold is going much higher over the next few years, possibly, I wouldn't say a decade, but a few years to 5 years, something like that. So let's take a look at some of these numbers. The cup dipped from its peak, well, from the lid, right? We draw a line from one side of the cup to the other, so from the lid down to the bottom, that depth or that height is $90. That is an important number because we're going to use that to project to the upside after we break out over the lid line, okay? So the handle, we've been consolidating since this cup was made, right? We came back up here, created the other end of the cup, and then started losing value. The gold has been losing value since August of 2020 when it peaked, right? Well, that has created this handle. We've been kind of creating a base. We've been consolidating. We've been prepping for the next big move, which should be to the upside based on this chart pattern, right? I do have some stop loss prices. I put a little red line down here that tells me, hey, if the price of gold breaks down below that line, cut chalks, like this is no good anymore. This pattern has kind of been debunked. It's no good anymore. Get out of the trade. But as long as it stays above that line, there's a good chance that this handle is forming and it's going to break out to the upside. Okay, so we currently see the GLD at a price of $166.81. That stop loss down there is at about $157. So if we break down below that, if we break down under 157, I would get out. But this handle should continue to the upside and go to this lid line right here. And that lid line, depending on how long it takes to get there, should be in that $194 to $197 range, right? And I do have a target date of 2024, which is a super long time from now, right? We're talking about like, well, I guess 2022 is right around the corner, so it could be as short as 2 years. That said, it might not take that long. Might not take that long at all. But we're talking about 18% profit here over the next 2 years, which doesn't sound like much. But think about what we know gold as. It is a store of value, right? A lot of people that are in gold are not in it to make a ton of money. They're in it because it's safe. It's a store of value. So if you're just keeping the same price, a lot of people are okay with that, right? They just want to hold something that is not cash, right? It's a hedge against owning cash that could lose value as as inflation or foreign policy changes. There's all kinds of factors that could go into why the price of the dollar goes up and down. Gold is a hedge to that. A lot of people like gold for its store of value. So anything extra that you're getting there is usually pretty nice, right? So when we're talking about making 18% on your money or on your gold over the next 2 years, a lot of people like to see that. That's pretty good, right? There's not a lot of downside risk here, right? It's a store of value, so keep that in mind. We're not talking about super risky tech stocks that could go bankrupt or could make you 10,000% over the next 10 years and anywhere in between, right? We're talking about a pretty solid, pretty safe store of value. So 18% profit potential over the next 2-ish years is what I see with this handle breakout pattern here, right? That's the first target. That's not the breakout above the lid. What we need to happen is this handle needs to head up to this lid and then break above it, right? If we break down from it, then there's some caution there, right? But as soon as we break through, that is our confirmation that this cup and handle pattern has played out, and we're going to continue to the upside much higher. In fact, we're going to head up $90, right? Remember I said that number is significant. We're going to add it to the lid line to get our second target, right? So if we break through that lid line, which could take a few years, but if we do, and when we do, we're going to target a number much, much higher. Let's pull this chart down and show you guys. We're talking way up here, right? We're talking on the GLD anyway, $285. And the GLD is currently at $166. So from where we're at right now, that's 54%. And we're talking about over the next, well, the target date is anywhere between 2025 and 2029. So anywhere between the next 4 to 8 years, we're talking about 54% profit potential on the price of gold. So where the price of gold is currently sitting at $1,790 at the time of this recording, 54% from here would put it more in that $2,700 range. So we're talking about on to every ounce of gold based on this chart pattern. This is technical analysis. The subset of technical analysis is chart patterns or just patterns. This is pretty significant. And again, this is a super long range, long time frame pattern here. One thing I should mention that I haven't yet is if we break out above that lid line and you go long on this trade, the stop loss where you would want to get out, right? We talked about the stop loss for the handle trade. Now we're talking about a stop loss for the breakout above the lid line. The stop loss would be basically if we break back under that lid line, right? It's pretty simple. So if we break above that lid in that 194 to 197 dollar range, depending on how fast we get through it, right? Because this lid line is slightly ascending, so it's that price is changing every day slightly. Basically, wherever that lid line is, if we break back under it, that would be your signal to get out of this trade, right? I don't see that happening. Of course, it's always possible. I can't predict anything with 100% certainty here in the stock market. Nobody can. But this is a cup and handle pattern. It has a pretty good chance of, its accuracy is pretty high. It's a pretty good chance of working out from what it looks like here, now that the handle is pretty much formed. But really, it has a much higher accuracy and chance of reaching its target if it breaks through that lid line. That accuracy percentage goes way up. So I'm targeting the $2,700 range anywhere between 2025 and 2029. I know it's a super long-term time frame, but like I said earlier in the video, gold is more of a hedge against cash and a hold of value for so many people. So anything more that you're getting other than that is really icing on the cake. And when you're talking about potential of 54% on your money over the next maybe 5 years, I mean, that's 10% a year. That's pretty amazing. I mean, that's what the S&P 500 averages, 10% a year, So I'm thinking 2,700 over the next 4 to 8 years. Let me know what you think. What do you guys think about gold over the next decade? And does this play for silver as well, other precious metals? I think it does. I think a lot of precious metals seem to track together, especially gold and silver. So let me know what you guys think for other precious metals and commodities. Let me know what you think about technical analysis and stock chart patterns for precious metals in general, or specifically precious metals. Do you guys think there's any correlation here? Do you think stock chart patterns are a thing at all, or with precious metals? Let me know. And if you have any recommendations, any thoughts for what you'd like to see next in my next video, let me know. All right. I think that's all I got for this one, guys. Thank you for sticking around. If you have already and haven't hit that like button, please do. That helps out my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I do stock chart pattern analysis mostly. I do stock market updates, some personal finance stuff. So check out my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.